Hello and welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for November 30th, 2019. Today we're talking Sims, Stadia. I wrote the same thing down twice. Steam VR, Yoda merch, and that's about it because Black Friday apparently is more important than news. So stay tuned! Oh God!
Oh dear Lord!
It's been a long week. I'm just gonna go with
I
it.
didn't even catch it either.
Camera's sitting right in between. That was a pretty quick flip, though. I liked that. It was a good opener. Hey, check out all of our stuff, and then welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast. I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
Whew! What a Black Friday it has been. Clearly, we are just so tired. We're not even prepped for things. Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast, where we talk about games we've played and not. No, that's the next thing. God Almighty. We talk about game and movie news and others entertainment and nerd news.
All the nerd news you need to know.
That's the one. That's the tag. I already said my name. You already said your name. Let's get into this. All right. So, Black Friday is anything all of the news websites have on them.
Yes.
So we have compiled as much as we possibly can to talk about. Stadia refunds being two of the things that we're going to talk about, clearly.
So important. We're
So
going to talk about
it twice. So we can start there. Stadia came out at the beginning of the month, or somewhere in this month.
Yeah.
To people who ordered the Founders Package.
Yeah.
Which again, that whole concept throws me off.
Yeah.
I get if you want to do like Founders Package and then be like, okay, it's out.
Yeah.
And like for these people. But to be like, Stadia is now open to the public. Yes and no. Like I thought the whole point to Stadia was I could install it on my computer or I could run it off Chrome, play it with my mouse and keyboard and just be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Like even on my phone, I'm looking at my phone. I have Stadia's installed.
Yeah.
I need to put in my access code.
It's
not
what we were expecting.
It was not the launch we were expecting. All of that stuff, and again, some of the games that came out are now being given away for free if you're part of the Stadia monthly package. Subscription thing. Either way, they're refunding those games if you bought them previously. So people got the thing and they're like, I'm going to get the Tomb Raider game. I don't know why you're testing with Tomb Raider. But maybe they've never played it. You're like, I'm going to play the new Tomb Raider. You got Tomb Raider. Well, now it's going to be free in December. So they're like, So Google has refunded all of that money, and there was another game on that docket that also got refunded.
I don't remember.
But I don't remember what it was. So, either way, Stadia, not the greatest launch yet.
Yeah.
Games aren't streaming in 4K like they've promised. There's load times, not what they promised. Like, the selection of games is fairly limited for a...
I know when they first announced this, we were pretty interested. We were like, this would be neat.
Well, because it's like, again, it's an intriguing concept of I don't need to have a gaming PC anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't need to have a powerhouse of a computer. I just need something that runs Chrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if a Chromebook can run Red Dead Redemption 2, why do I need to spend $8 billion on a computer? And it's like, and then the load times are going to be dead because essentially we're running off of Google's mass, computer network.
Yeah.
We're not. Well, we are. It's just not doing it well. Yeah. That's my piece. I don't know exactly. It's not what we expected.
No.
I guess is the.
And it's kind of disappointing.
Which is disappointing. Got that one written down already. Sorry, I'm still trying to make my list at the same time too. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's okay.
like it's one of those things that just I don't quite understand.
Yeah.
So,
Where did they fall off the?
well, why aren't they doing,
Yeah.
different things? So,
Yep.
there, Stadia, done. All right. Next up, Yoda merch has hit the stores. We were promised Baby Yoda merch. We've been given Baby Yoda merch. They took Jon Favreau released a concept design art piece on Twitter.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's so cute! What a great picture that is!" And the Disney people went, "You're right. We're gonna put it on T-shirts and mugs and hats. Just that picture." And again, it's not like they cut Yoda out and like put him on the T-shirts. They legitimately just took that picture. So if you buy the shirt, it's like a giant rectangle,
square.
of like.
Yeah, it's not like a nice of just the colored parts
Sure, but again, it's not like they cut out Yoda's head and made like a nice polo with the thing right here. And again, like Disney knows how to do
embroidery.
Like they've got merch stuff going.
Yeah.
Clearly, this was we must capitalize on
Yeah.
Baby Yoda
They
as
weren't
quickly
ready.
as humanly possible. They weren't. They weren't ready for this show to be what it is.
Yeah.
Which is now trending better than Stranger Things.
Yeah, which is great. We'll probably be talking more about The Mandalorian when you watch our post-credit show. So stay tuned for that. But it's kind of been just exploding The Mandalorian, and
Yes.
they were not ready for the merchandise of Baby Yoda. So
Well,
then they kind of were just slapping this picture on everything.
They did.
could find.
They took a rectangular portrait photo and they've smacked it on mugs and they've smacked it even we've gone through the trouble of taking the background out of our stuff. You kind of just sit there going, oh Disney.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
This is one of those. They're merchandising people. Every once in a while, they really hit home and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you can tell, you look at the Disney stores, even in malls, and it's like, oh, there's more T-shirts or there's more stuff for older audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, someone's thinking again.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it disappears and you end up with the weirdest stuff. But even like Christopher Robin, those plushies, it blows my mind. Like every time I think about it, it's like you have released a realistic looking Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
And you made 10 of them for each store. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, yeah.
It's not even people who enjoyed that because they didn't expect that movie to do all that well. And I mean, it didn't do fantastically.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, the movie's not going to do great. And it's like, but the merchandise. It's Winnie the Pooh merchandise.
It's like the Transformers movies versus the Transformer merchandise.
Right.
Even though the movie is terrible, you can still sell the merchandise for
Right,
pretty
because
fair share.
people want Transformers. People want these things. And again, this is a cute, Star Wars inspired something. We dig that stuff. Porgs.
BB-8.
BB-8 comes along and sells how many little things. You're inventing this thing that it's going to be well received. As long as the show was well received. So even if you didn't know it was going to be great, still on the assembly line, it's like, are we prepped to start mass manufacturing plushies and this and that and everything else? And it's like, no. And it's like, well, we should be ready.
Yeah.
Even if you're slightly concerned because of Star Wars fatigue, which again is not Star Wars fatigue, it's legitimately you can't release mainline Star Wars movies after a reboot that shouldn't, or not a reboot, but a telling of a story that really we didn't need.
So.
I guess that's my biggest. Star Wars, the mainline stuff has all been good. Rogue One was amazing.
Yes, Rogue One was very refreshing.
Solo was well done for what it was. But that's the piece, is we didn't need Solo.
We didn't need Solo, yeah.
Rogue One's a cool story because it takes the Force stuff out.
Yeah.
For the most part, so does The Mandalorian. There's still the Force.
The Force.
We still exist in this world of, stuff.
But it's a different, universe building because it's building outside of that.
Yeah, it's building outside of the Skywalker family, which is nice.
I think is what we need. We're getting tired of the Skywalker saga. Maybe.
But again, it's not even that. If you watch the prequels, they're okay movies.
Yes.
We look at the original trilogy, then we look at the prequel trilogy, and you go, ugh, because mistakes were made by George Lucas. But overall, there's a cool story in there of the rise of the Emperor and Darth Vader, and so again, that Skywalker family of Anakin and how he becomes Darth Vader, and it's like, okay, cool, like corrupted and this and that and everything.
Yeah.
To Luke Skywalker's, like, we don't need Luke Skywalker growing up on a farm.
No.
We don't need him hanging out with his friends at the Toshi
Getting blue
power
milk.
station. Like, you know, like, we don't need that stuff. So we didn't need that out of Solo. And I think a lot of people did. They went, this guy doesn't look like Harrison Ford, doesn't sound like Harrison Ford. None of your commercials did a very good job of selling that flick.
Chewie might die. Chewie might die.
Chewie's head is out of train, plummeting towards a rock. Chewie
He
might die in this prequel movie.
That's not gonna leave much suspense.
No.
Spoiler alert.
And again,
there's
like,
movies.
Even a Lando movie would have landed better than a Solo
I think a Lando
movie.
movie would have been better, especially with.
Because we had this much of Lando in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
We had this much of Harrison Ford and Han Solo. That much of Lando.
That's why Rogue One was so good, because it was built off that one phrase where lots of people died getting these codes or these whatever, these plans.
Yeah.
And then they built the whole movie out of that, and it was fantastic.
Sure, but again, like there's all that world building that you can do, and they just, it's like, let's build up on Han Solo's story, and I'm like, I don't need to.
Yeah.
He's the pilot of the Millennium Falcon who flew the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs.
Yeah.
Like. It's all I need to know.
All I need to know.
It's actually funny. I was watching Game Grumps, and I'm still a few years back.
Yeah.
I'm catching up quickly. Like, I am running out of videos to watch, like old videos. I have almost watched every single one of their episodes.
Oh,
but
awesome.
one of them is, like, the two of them talking. It's like, well, there's this Solo movie coming out. And it's like, and then it's like Aronson, they're going to do the Kessel Run. Why are they going to do the Kessel Run? I know how it ends. He flies. Like, he finishes the Kessel Run in, you know, 14 parsec. Like, I don't need to see this. Why are you giving this to me? And I think it's not Star Wars fatigue. It's legitimately a movie no one really wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas, like, because that's why it's not happening to Marvel, is it's people want to see
wanna
these
see
movies
more.
because you're not sitting there going, you know what would be great? We're going to do Tony Stark as a teenager before he became Iron Man, when he was just like a rapscallion young man.
And Peter Parker was just, you know, getting born. He's still a fetus at this time.
Well, not even, because, like, you know, he was Robert Downey Jr.'s character is quite a bit older than Tom Holland in those flicks. So it was like, you know, but that's the piece. It's like, no one wants that. No. So Marvel's not going to do that movie. Marvel will take the risk of, like, we're going to do a martial arts flick now. But now they know that they can be like, we're going to make a martial arts flick. And people are like, cool, we're getting a Marvel martial arts flick. Whereas Star Wars has to be like, here's our mainline stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, so every 2 years you get mainline Star Wars. And in between, because that's what we were kind of excited about, was we were going to get these other pieces. The Mandalorian could have easily been a movie.
Yeah. But they made it into a nice
But they made it into an amazing television show, which is great. We're going to get the same thing. We could have gotten an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Mm-hmm.
We're now getting a TV show.
Which I don't mind.
Which is, I'm with the quality of The Mandalorian, I'm totally down with.
For it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem is Solo was not a movie that people, I think, wanted.
Or needed.
Or we didn't need it.
We didn't need it.
Like, again, I didn't need that. Like, and again, my other thing to that is I think Han Solo as a character was supposed to grow in the original trilogies from I'm in for myself and no one else. And in the Solo movie, we didn't even get that character.
No.
We got the guy who was like, oh, I guess we should help these people.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not the Solo at the beginning of A New Hope.
He was very self-centered.
He was. Don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the guy that did this.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
Yeah. He had no moral ethics. Like, oh yeah,
I'm willing to shoot a guy
Yeah.
because, you know, I owe this guy money and this will save me some time.
Yeah. And you heard how they changed all that with Disney Plus, eh? Like, they changed that scene.
Yes.
So that he doesn't look like a murderous scumbag.
But they've been changing that scene
forever. They've changed it like 5 times now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he first just shot.
Yeah.
Then they had Greedo also shoot. But shoot a little bit before Han so that it was like, oh, I'm defending
myself.
Yeah. Whatever. Apparently, the Disney Plus cuts are supposed to be the best cuts of the original trilogy. They've done the color correction better.
Yeah.
Apparently, adding that line is actually more helpful to the whole thing because it's more of the, like, you know, he just gets angry and Solo just shoots him.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, no.
No.
It works out better in the long run, but again, everybody's still just, they're like, just have him, you know.
Yeah. It shows character progress.
But again, that's the piece, is you have a guy who's looking out for himself at the beginning of those films. To the point where in that film, he leaves.
Yeah. He actually does leave.
He goes, "You're in on your own. I've been paid. Ciao.
So long, princess."
So long, princess. And ditches out and then comes back at the end because he goes, I
actually like these people.
He shouldn't have done that in the Solo movies because that just... He's already done it once. Why would he abandon them?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, this saving people feels kind of good. I guess we should do this more often.
It makes that one episode or the movie feel less like, oh yeah, he's done this before. Yeah.
This is his character trait. He leaves and then has a change of heart. You can only do that so many times.
So many times.
Before you're just a moron.
Yeah.
Why do I keep leaving and then feeling this massive amount of guilt? God,
I don't understand myself.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the big problem because clearly this show is now in high demand.
Yes.
Hugely high demand, and it is a fairly the quality on this show. We'll talk about it more in the post credit, but
Speaking of which, we were saying that it's better than Stranger Things.
Yes.
That one actress, I feel like she's just gonna ruin herself. Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Just the news I hear about her, I feel like she's gonna ruin her life.
She's a big question mark because she does. She's trying to grow up faster.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of that is her publishing team and all the we got to get you doing this. 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 And it's just and again, that's where a parent hopefully steps in. It's that Macaulay Culkin thing again, where hopefully parents are in control. And it's yes, a 14-year-old or 15-year-old does want to do a bunch of these things. You very much have to balance out, my kid wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
So yes, they have to be doing things to make sure they're in the public eye and doing projects to make sure they're staying busy. Because once you stop, once you're not noticed anymore, Hollywood doesn't care.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, and again, as a younger actor, you really have to stay in the forefront, or you just
I guess just going so poorly.
But that's the piece, is you can do the Emma Watson version of it.
Yep.
Where UN ambassador for da 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 da
for women's rights.
Right, doing those kinds of things and staying relevant so that she's still in films.
Yeah.
But again, you look at the guy who played Ron Weasley.
Yeah. You don't hear from him.
I think he owns an ice cream truck now.
Oh.
I think he's living his best life. He's living the way he wants to live, but you're just it's not like you can walk into a place and be like, I want to be in your movie, and people are going to be like, okay. They're going to be like,
you gotta audition.
Are you the guy what have you done lately?
Yeah.
I sold ice cream to kids?
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely like this Mandalorian show way more than Stranger Things.
And again, we were talking right before the show, is the weekly release of it helps, I think, in a tremendous way of building the anticipation and having people talk about it. And you were saying at work, people are like, it's Friday! Mandalorian's coming out!
Woo!
I get home and I'm and for us, because I've been watching The Mandalorian on my own, and then my wife and I have been watching The Imagineering Story.
Oh, yes.
So that's the other thing, is we have a new episode of that. Do you want to watch it tonight, or are we going to save it tomorrow? When are we going to watch it? Yeah. And it's tomorrow? And it's okay, cool. Not tonight. Cool. But again, in my head, I'm I have another episode of that to watch. I have a reason to keep coming back to it, other than just watching Darkwing Duck and Tailspin and all of that stuff.
The nostalgia and
other than just the nostalgia, there's also that weekly release of things. And again, we get to talk about it.
Yes.
Which is nice. Again, we were playing games last night going, oh my god, when this happened? So, I enjoy that piece of it all.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea how we got on this topic.
We were talking about Yoda merch and the Yoda merch that they had. So, for such a fantastic show, the merch right now is absolute junk. Because it's a slow news week, I have this pulled up here. So, welcome to the new Sims pack. This was voted on by people. So, The Sims 4 releases stuff packs.
So, it's like the community pack almost.
Sort of. So, you got to choose between what you wanted. Arts and crafts ended up winning the vote. You could vote between arts and crafts, science and technology, fun tech, and self-care routines, or happy haunts.
Ooh.
And people voted unanimously pretty much for arts and crafts, followed by happy haunts.
Okay.
Followed by self-care, science and technology, and then fun
tech.
For arts and crafts, new feature is now knitting. So it's guaranteed to be in the stuff pack. You can now knit. It's not out yet. They're working on it. Sculpting was the second, and glass fabrication was third.
Like glass blowing?
Ahead of edible art and embroidering. I feel like the what was the arts and crafts proved to be an extremely popular option, with many players expressing excitement on social media by the addition of more hobbies and activities for their Sims to be in everyday life. This is from display or digitalspy.com. There was also a lot of Happy Haunts voters who were disappointed because you were supposed to be able to go ghost hunting and work for the Grim Reaper.
That sounds pretty cool.
So
makes it more of an adventure game.
Yes. But we haven't played in a while, but like so far I think there's been like a magic school that's opened. You can become a wizard and you can go to university now. Like there's like a couple new packs that have come out. So, but they are doing more polls to let players decide, like, so even the clothing packages that come in this one, people are going to vote on, like, what kind of clothes do you want to see in this arts and crafts version of things.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's kind of cool with the like letting the players kind of choose where they want to go.
Yeah.
Apparently the university expansion pack has been absolutely stellar. So
awesome.
I think I've read somewhere, and this also allows for like editable art, so you can put your own stuff into the game, I think. From what I read on another site. So
like a picture or something if you want to.
So yeah,
like
if you like upload a picture or a painting into your hard drive, and you can be like, I want to hang this on the wall, so you can have a Picasso on your wall sort of thing, and be like, yeah, I painted that. The Mona Lisa.
My name's Picasso. My name's
Yeah. So there's that. Look at us padding for time.
Yeah.
And last but not least, so Steam announced their VR.
Yes. Yeah. The Index.
Thank you. It is picking up a lot of quote-unquote Steam because of the game that they announced to go with it.
Yes.
So Half-Life
Alex.
Yeah.
So ALYX.
Yeah. So this thing is pricey.
Yes. $1,000 bucks.
$1,000.
And
you need a decent computer to run this thing.
Yes. And it's not the Half-Life we were wanting.
It's not Half-Life 3.
Everyone was wanting Half-Life 3, and now they're just using Half-Life as the kind of launch.
It's a brand, yep. They're using it as a brand launch title. So, but it is working.
It is working.
People are excited.
Yeah.
People are willing to drop a grand on this
for
thing.
it. So, I think a lot of pictures have been coming out of the evolution of the G-Man.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. Like, the graphics look fantastic.
Well, sure.
It's just like...
Because the last time you guys saw Half-Life, it looked like junk. Like,
it was amazing at that time.
The physics were amazing.
The physics, yeah. Time. It was like the when that new physics engine came out way back.
Because the chain would, like, swing.
Yeah.
Or you'd throw something and it would actually, like arc and then bounce.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Or if you shot someone and they fell off a cliff, it'd be like tumble.
Yeah,
ragdoll effect.
Which are now...
not
junk in video games.
Yeah.
You look at games now and you're like, ooh.
It's like Human Fall Flat.
Yeah, exactly. Human Fall Flat is better than Half-Life.
But yeah, and so a lot of disappointment, like no Half-Life 3, and they're gonna try and make this Half-Life Alex thing, which I really want to try because it's Half-Life, but it's $1,000 for this VR thing that is not compatible with a lot of other VR games. It's only compatible with a certain Steam VR games.
Right, and knowing Steam, like, they'll eventually work it into the platform, unless this thing doesn't sell well, in which case you're out of luck. Like, Steam controllers are done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another.
Because they were selling off the rest of
them for $5.
For $5, just to get rid of them. Like, Steam Link was done, which I sit there going, why? The technology behind all that is
it's great. I still have my Steam Link.
I love, like, I use the heck out of my Steam Link before, like, you know, and then we move things, so all of a sudden, like, the Steam Link is in a box somewhere, and it's like, or I don't play enough PC games that, you know, can use them, so it's just, like, where it's effective enough, I guess, is the big piece. Because playing, like, Planet Coaster on your TV with a Steam controllers. A little wonky.
Yeah, keyboard's better.
Keyboard and mouse are definitely better. Yeah. And then I don't want to have to sit there like, go all the way downstairs, grab all of my stuff, go upstairs. Yeah. Like, if I'm sitting on the couch and I want to play something, I'm sitting on the couch and I want to play something. Yeah. So, and yeah, I'm definitely not going to, like, go and get all of my computer stuff and carts upstairs. I'll just grab my Switch and go sit on a couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if I'm already downstairs,
yeah,
I'm just going to sit here and play games. Or I'm going to sit over on my couch and play games. Like,
there's easier ways to play games.
There are easier ways to play games. So, but yeah, this VR thing, that's the one thing. As long as they keep supporting it, I think they'll be okay. Yeah. It's if they let it kind of go for a couple years and don't do anything to help support it, and then they're just like, well, VR didn't work, bye.
Bye, yeah. Then it's, like, I mean, even the PlayStation's VR is what, 300? 500?
You can get it pretty cheap if you, especially, again, Black Friday sales and all of that stuff. Like, it went down to, I think, $250 to $300.
I still thought I wouldn't.
I am not into the VR of that kind of thing. I see the benefits of VR for other stuff. I see the benefits of VR if you can, like, put cameras in places and actually, like, put on a headset and now you're into that smaller scope of space. Or again, in education, you can use it to take people places and see things that they normally wouldn't be able to see. Like, and again, there's a big difference between putting a picture on a screen and having people analyze it versus actually having people put something on and look around.
Yes.
VR gaming's totally cool. But again, it's one of those things where, like, by the time I'm gaming most of the time, I'm in this position.
Yeah, and I'm just relaxing, chilling out.
Yeah. I also don't need my dog bounding on top of me while I'm sitting there with this headset on. Even if I can just do this and, like, playing Call of Duty where you could actually, like, look left and right would be beneficial.
Yeah.
But I don't need my dog being like, he's not paying attention to me. Wham! And I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
So.
A lot of videos are like that on Reddit.
Sure,
people
like
freaking out.
so like, and I get the immersiveness of it, and I dig all of that. I don't have the room, and for me, it's not that big piece. But again, like $1,000 for a VR headset, when you're competing against PlayStation, who's really taking the market on this.
Yeah.
Because for $400 or $500, you can get a PlayStation and a VR. Like you can get the whole package sort of thing.
Because what's the other one for the computer?
There's the HTC. There's the Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift, which is still like $500 or so.
And again, everything runs off of your PC, so you still
need a
have
good PC.
You still have to build a decent
like
PC. Where again,
$2,000 PC.
This is where consoles, and I kind of flip flop all the time with this one, but it's like consoles are nice because there's no upgrading.
No.
I always buy a console later into their life generation most of the time. Nintendo, I get right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Because I end up playing all of their stuff.
Yeah.
But like I just got an Xbox, and we just got PlayStations last year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think we've been playing.
Whenever Spider-Man came. Yeah. Like we've been playing. It seems like a while, but Lord knows I have no concept of time. But like.
And I'm very happy with that purchase. Like,
but it's a great purchase, and we've used it a ton. Yeah. And it's one of those things where I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't need an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to buy, a new processor every 5 years or this or that or anything else. Yes, I might have to buy a new console down the road, but that's again, that's an option. I can wait it out again. I can I can hem and haw. But again, to upgrade my computer at this point is going to cost me $100,000.
Yeah.
Well, $1,000, but like $2,000.
You could buy 2 PlayStations.
I could just buy I will in my head. I'm like, I will just buy a PlayStation because I get way more out of my PlayStation than I do, or a new Xbox when the new Xbox comes out. Like I get more out of the consoles, and especially again Xbox. It is a computer.
Yeah.
It's running Microsoft Game Pass. I can plug in my keyboard and mouse. Like it has keyboard and mouse support. Like built in because it's Microsoft. It's a computer.
It's a computer.
So that's the piece where people are like, yeah, PC gaming is like the way to game. And I'm like, I dig PC gaming. I love Steam.
Yeah.
And again, I've gotten off of Steam now with all of these other subscription things. Like Game Pass has helped me play games that I want to play. Like I have so many Game Pass games in my library right now. It's like, I don't need Steam.
I don't need Steam. Yeah,
EA Access has given us our sports games.
And Battlefield 5.
And Battlefield 5, which we've been playing. I have to add that to my list, although I'm sure it's on yours. So that's
fun. Yes.
But like, that's my thing is like I look at Steam now and it's like I got Planet Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the only games I can really see myself
Yeah.
ever buying on Steam now are my building games.
Building games. Because that's one is a lot harder to do on console. with a
Yeah,
controller.
I'm also and again, if they came out on like just the Microsoft Xbox store,
Oh yeah,
again, it would be a
Dude.
different story. I would just play them on my Xbox.
yeah, that's true.
Like
That's
with
true.
a mouse and keyboard, I would just play Planet Zoo because I wouldn't have to worry about like, okay, where are my settings? Because your zoo gets bigger. It's like Planet Coaster. The more stuff, the more your computer starts going. Ooh,
Yeah.
Nick, why?
Why?
And again, that's why I was excited for Stadia, because again, I don't
wouldn't have to worry
don't want to
about
have
that.
to upgrade my computer all the time, and I
Yeah.
think that's again that nice piece of console tech, and
Yeah.
PlayStation is owning in that VR that VR space right
Yes,
now.
definitely.
As much as Xbox tells them they're not, because Xbox came out swinging saying like no one wants VR. Some people do, and that's the piece is, I understand VR.
Mm.
It's just not something. Like, and I even
I
did
mean,
the,
I was into I'm not.
I even
really-
did the VR like at an actual physical VR where you walk in and there's a room with walls and a floor and like that kind of stuff. And it cool. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
But again, you're taking up
How much space?
a lot of space to do this, and not a lot, because that's the other fun thing is with VR,
Mhm.
you can pretty much put you in, a room that just keeps going in a square, but make it not feel like you're going in a square,
square.
because like you can step onto an elevator and it will take you up, but
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, now we just go back to our right now, but it's not the same right anymore because we went up an elevator. It's a completely different room,
Yeah.
and this room's now huge, and you're like, but your platform's only this big,
Yeah.
so you're not like, whoa, this place is like, whoa. So they can play with space, which is cool.
Yeah.
It does. It puts you into that zone. But again, it's still VR, so I mean, when we did it, we were stormtroopers, and you're just like, what happens if our hands kind of like touch, and it's still kind of funky, and it's like,
Yeah.
if I get too close to you, it looks like you have a third arm, or
Oh.
like all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, there's pieces of it that work, and there's pieces of it that are still a little hinky. It's fun, it's cool.
Yeah.
But again, that's like $50 a person experience.
For 15 minutes, I think you said.
For
right?
like 15
Yeah.
minutes. It was really cool, and it's one of those like if you're having a big, something
Party or.
which is what we were celebrating
Yeah.
was a big something. So it's like, all right, it's we'll throw the money in, but like I'm not doing that every week.
No.
I'm not doing that I'm not even doing that once a month. $50 buys me a game
Yeah.
that I can sit on my couch and play all the time.
Yep. Or 10 meals.
Or
Cheap
10
meals.
meals, cheap
10
meals.
cheap
Well, I had breakfast at McDonald's the other day for $6.50.
Yeah.
2 breakfast sandwiches and a large coffee, because all their coffee's on for $1 right now.
Oh yeah. They just like switch it depending on the season. Cold drink or hot drink.
Yeah, summer you get cold drinks, and in the winter you get warm drinks. They've thought it out. They weren't like, what if we gave them free pop in the winter? If it was free, I'd still be showing up.
yeah, I know, right?
I'd show up for free pop. So there you go. That's the news.
That's the news.
Join us for the post-credit show in about 5 minutes, where we'll talk about games we played, movies we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done. Look, I'm back on track.
You're
We're
back
good
on
now.
track. You just needed to warm up.
I just needed the warm-up show, which this was, because there was almost junk to talk about. Thanks for watching. Join us in about 5 minutes. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.